Hi everyone, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel Bookish 4 Eyes. Today I'm doing my best books of 2020 and 2019. I'm condensing the 2 years that I wasn't on BookTube to talk about some books that I gave 5 stars to. As I was looking through my Goodreads page for the last couple of years, I was trying to find all the books that I gave 5 stars to, and I thought there would be a good amount of books that I thought were worthy of 5 stars. To my great surprise, it turns out that I am pretty stingy with my 5-star ratings, and there were barely any books that I ended up giving 5 stars to, which made me wonder if I'm too harsh with my book ratings overall. So going forward, I think I will be a little bit more objective because I have a lot of 4-star books, and I think maybe some of those 4-star books could have been 5-star books if I gave it a little more thought and thought it through a little better. But anyways, this year I will try to be a little more objective with my ratings, and I want to give more 5-star ratings because I do read a lot of great books. Anyways, before I get too off topic, right now let's talk about the 5-star books that I read. There's only 4 of them, which is quite surprising. Let's get right to it. The very first book that I gave 5 stars to is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. This was an amazing read, and if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. This took you on a wild journey with our main character Cora, who escapes from slavery, and she takes the literal Underground Railroad up north to try and escape and hopefully find a place where she can live safely. This goes through so many different scenarios. There is people chasing her down, trying to capture her. She ends up in certain towns along her journey where you think she's safe and you think the environment is more welcoming. However, you start to see very quickly that there is some sinister activity going on, and overall it's just not a good environment. So this was an incredible read. It was terrifying. It was just absolutely great. So 5 stars, highly recommend. Definitely give it a go if you haven't read it already. The next book that I gave 5 stars to is called The Mothers by Brit Bennett, and I absolutely enjoyed this book. The first book by Brit Bennett that I read was The Vanishing Half, which was an incredible read. I gave it 4 stars, which looking back, I probably should have given it 5 stars, but back to The Mothers, an amazing read. It's about the main character, Nadia, who is a young woman, I believe in high school, maybe middle school, I think high school, and she meets a guy named Luke. They have a relationship, it's just like a young romance. She ends up, however, getting pregnant, and then after getting an abortion, and that's a secret that the two of them keep from everyone around them, and that follows them all through their lives. In the end, they keep crossing paths, and you get to see how their lives changed, where she went on to go to college and kind of move around, go to New York, go to big cities and kind of advance her life, and he ended up staying behind in their hometown. You just get a good glimpse of how different people take different paths and where it leads them, and then in the end, how they come together again. I love books like that, and this was just an amazing read. I couldn't put it down. I felt pretty torn up at times, and it was just overall an incredible read. The next book that I gave 5 stars to is called The Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates, and this book really took me by surprise. I have seen the movie first, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, which I absolutely enjoyed, and I figured I should read the book to see if there was anything missing from the movie. Basically, this takes place in the 1950s, and the main character, Frank and April Wheeler, are a couple in the suburbs with children, and they're kind of underwhelmed by their existence. Frank is not happy with his job in the city, and April is just not very fulfilled as a housewife, and they're constantly trying to reimagine themselves, anything to really spice up the kind of life that they're living. They look like a perfect couple, and they look like a perfect family from the outside looking in, and all throughout the book other people are commenting on how they seem like a great couple, like they have everything that you could possibly want. However, as a reader, you get to see the true struggles that they face and the true unhappiness that really plagues them throughout this whole book. The ending is really heartbreaking, and overall the book is just kind of sad and makes you really wonder about what's important in life and how you should be living your life and pursuing your passions, if you will. So this was an incredible read. I really liked it. It was just beautiful, and the movie is great too, so that's another option if you don't feel like reading this book. The last pick might be a surprise, and it was kind of a surprise for me as well. It's called This One Summer, and it's a graphic novel. I'm not big into graphic novels, but I did have a phase where I read a bunch, and some of them were really good, others were just okay, but this particular one stood out to me. It was in a weird way a really feel-good graphic novel because it was about a girl named Rose who goes on a summer vacation with her family, and there she really kind of goes through some typical developmental things that kids her age go through, and to me that felt, I don't know, like it kind of took me back to those days when I was their age and the struggles that you go through, and they're not always happy and you sometimes are really upset and disappointed by things, but overall it was just kind of a rite of passage. It turned out to be quite enjoyable, which I was really surprised about, but you never know till you read it. So that's it for my best reads of 2020 and 2019. Please let me know if you read any of these books, and also please let me know what are some of your 5-star reads that you think I should check out, because I will, and I will add them to my TBR. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.